Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. Today's video will be another trip review. Part 2. This trip will be back from Milwaukee to New London via the Hiawatha, Cardinal, and Northeast Regional. Today, we are lucky enough to have our Hiawatha train have the new Venture coaches, which are a little bit over a year old now. Today, our Hiawatha 339 to Milwaukee will be a hour-and-a-half trip. Trip one of many.
As a reminder, for all Amtrak Hiawatha trains, no smoking of any kind allowed on board, and no drinking of any alcoholic beverages. Now departing downtown Milwaukee, first station stop is the airport. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing.
While we get on our way to our first station, I decide to go check out the bathroom. Based off of first impressions, it is really spacious. The automatic door. You press a button to lock the door, and it'll turn on the light automatically. The big mirror. Nice sink. A little bit of trash, but it's okay. You got a ring light around the mirror. Nice toilet. There's even an air dryer. Water's automatic. Everything's really nice about this bathroom. Way better than every other bathroom I've ever been in. This is the number one bathroom that I've ever seen. Now we arrive into our first station, Milwaukee Airport. When I got on Borealis a few months ago, I was actually at this station to go to Milwaukee. Now, we finally start our seat check after a few minutes of our trip. The tray table's really nice. It has a cup holder. There's the lights above the seat. Not the biggest, and they're really high up above the seat. Really would only work if the coach was really dark. But as we look outside, we're passing a few crossings on our way to our next stop. Now you'll be able to hear the horn of a F40 MPCU, the Veterans Unit. We are now starting the questions back up again before we cue our music. Which yard is this? And what is the name of the yard? Comment down below. Now we make it back to Chicago. If you look to the left, that was train 8 coming from Seattle to Chicago with 2 ALCs leading. And to the right is my train, the Hiawatha, that obviously went from Milwaukee to Chicago. Train 8 is one of the long distance trains that's only on the north side. Then, if you look to our right on our train, the Veterans Unit MPCU. After that long trip, we got stuck outside, and now we're in Chicago again. I got myself some more food, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, this is day 2 of trip review. It's 4 days later from my Lakeshore Limited. But I'll do more updates when we get to the actual train, since this is a trip review, not a vlog. So, and we'll get on our train soon. I have an hour until I depart, so. Now returning to our south side, we are now going to board our train number 50 to Washington, D.C. But I get off in Alexandria for rail planning, so this trip will be from Chicago to Alexandria. So let's get a closer look at our train, since there's a lot of people getting on. To our right is train 21 to San Antonio, Texas. The train is named the Texas Eagle. There's 2 of them a day, train 21 and 22. To our left is train number 50, which is my train. After our fun boarding process, now we are on the train to Alexandria. A fun fact about train 50 is train 50 and 51 doesn't run every day. They run every 2 days. So the next time train 50 will be leaving Chicago is in another 2 days. Train 50 is to New York, but we're only going to Alexandria. On our way to Washington. I got on about 30-ish, 40-ish minutes ago. We were stuck outside of Chicago for about 20 minutes because of few metro trains. Our first stop's Dyer, and probably like another 30 minutes. But right now this trip's going great. It's going good. It's nice and comfy in here. As you've seen on the Lakeshore Limited, same seat, same style, but the only difference with this is that there's assigned seating. Not really assigned seating, but you know. But this is going good right now. So I'll update y'all a little more in the future. For now, I can see some scenery, and then I'm gonna show you the bedtime outfit, and then when it's like going to sleep again. So right now it's going good. I'll update y'all in a second, and I'll be heading to the cafe soon too. So mind you, my meal's about to be great. So I'll see y'all in a second. Okay, and now after waiting for our freight train, we are now on the way to Alexandria. We are running approximately 30 minutes late, but it's okay. Next question of our video: what year were the ALC 42s announced? Not made, announced. Comment down below. We're going to cue our music back up, since we haven't had music in a little bit. So, here y'all go.
Here's the reason why I feel alive, I feel alive, I feel alive. The music is the reason, the music is the reason why I feel alive, I feel alive. The music is the reason. I see the signs when I stay in.
Everything like last time. I won't be able to do too much filming because of the person I was. In fact, the guy was pretty cool, so. Sitting next to him, but it is okay. Yeah, so right now, I'm about to dig into this, chill a little bit more, change, and then go to sleep. Until tomorrow. I get off the train at 6 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. It is currently 5. It's currently 6:50 something Central time. So I'll be catching y'all later. We're still not at our first station yet. We're almost an hour late already, so it's okay. But I'll catch up with y'all in a second. Just have fun enjoying the views. stations are not close, like where I live. Where I live, like there's a station every 30 minutes or less. Like here, it's like every hour and some change. I am back in my comfy outfit, my robe, and there's really nothing else up to update. I got some more food. We will be getting to our next station. Forgot what it's called, but we'll be there soon. I'm gonna head to sleep now, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in this video. I know it's a long video. Stay awake. I'll give y'all a break between now and when I wake up to catch up. But I'm gonna head off now, so I'll see y'all in the morning. Now we are awake again. Got the robe on, and we are on a break right now. But good morning, everyone. Again, we are in Huntington, West Virginia. This is kind of cool. We actually got off in Indianapolis, but I was too tired to record again. But look at this view, though. This is the view we got right now. I'm about to get breakfast. It is currently 7:14 in the morning, so we'll see how this goes. But I'll see y'all back inside the train. And now we are departing Huntington, West Virginia. As I said, we were there. Now, today is going to be a fun day. We get off at many stations. We get to walk around, tour stations, a lot. Even a crew from this forest place gets on train and teaches us about the history of West Virginia. You'll see later in the video. But right now, enjoy the morning views.
Saw you in the field of light, scared me home. It's been a hard, cold good night, baby. Hang on tight. Don't trust it, hold it up to the light.
We got sausage, egg and cheese again with the Sprite. And now
Divine intervention or anything else that gets my attention. And I'm falling for you. You're a fine invention, the sort of poison to me that I keep forgetting. And now I'm halfway in and I'm half alive. You take my face and you hold it up to the light. Think he was bound to take me.
Charleston, West Virginia, Amtrak Station. Charleston is the capital of West Virginia and lies along the banks of the Kanawha River. The land in this area was surveyed and mapped by our first president, George Washington. In fact, there is a high school here named George Washington High, from which movie actress Jennifer Garner graduated.
Yes, he did. Look at them houses, dude. Beautiful.
right next to the tracks.
Yeah, that would suck.
We are now in the Kanawha City area of Charleston.
Kanawha City area.
The speed of sound and level flight. He served for 70 years in 3 wars.
Little update to it. We have a narrator talking. This is low-key fire because we just learned how Kenmore is actually a real company now, coming from here, Charleston, Virginia. We're learning about all the history that happened in Virginia, West Virginia. Lady keeps going over the intercom. Here we go again.
Once there was an early short rail line here in Chesapeake called the Winterford Railroad. Now, Big Eagle Rail owns the 7-mile line to the mine and loads coal at the Winterford docks, as you'll be seeing several loading docks today on your left. Coal was shipped by rail, truck, and barges. Along the water's edge, you will see piers used to tie up barges. One barge can hold the equivalent of 15 jumbo cars or 58 trucks.
So you just heard that. Another history about a railroad that used to be here. This is really interesting though. I'm gonna keep updating y'all a lot more. I had a good sleep. Our stations are gonna be kind of repetitive now. We're going through the Appalachian Mountains, however you say it. So this trip is all over the place. You can't see out the window, but there's a bunch of hills and stuff over there, a bunch of mountains. But this is really nice, so I'll keep updating y'all. I'm gonna try to show y'all scenery because everything's out the left side of the window. There's nothing out all right, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to try to find a way to get that footage over there. But there's some things to it right now. Not too much, but it's fine. I'll get more stuff later in this trip. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. This is actually fun, and I'll update y'all in a second. As we look at our pretty mountains over here, we have a issue during this trip, but it's not really an issue that will mess with the trip. It's just we have no phone signal from here to Clifton Forge, but it helps people to stay off their phone and look outside, which helped for me because I enjoyed looking outside at the view.
So this is iPhone 14. This is the newest one. And it was a big one too.
Pics are so good.
Dude, that's water out of the
Across
mountains.
the river is the town of Glasgow, American Electric Power Plant. Around 1960, it had been named 3 times as the world's
This is really cool. We are literally in like a history class. This is literally like a tour train. We are going through literally the history culture.
Straight up.
You see the little shed over there? That's abandoned, it looks like. But
There's another one right over there, and another one by the riverfront.
this is actually like
Dump
insane.
site.
This is great. That makes you forget that you're on a train for hours and hours. This is actually like such a cool sight to see. I'm gonna keep showing y'all everything that I'm seeing, but like this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
intake building for the nearby city of Fayetteville, West Virginia.
Water intake stations.
Imagine she is that like small.
Completed in 19 the world's third longest steel arch span, measuring 1,700 feet long, with a total length of 3,000 feet. It is about 900 feet high from the water level. It is the longest single arch bridge in the Western Hemisphere, the second highest vehicle-carrying bridge in the world, third highest bridge in the United States, the 13th highest in the world, featured on a U.S. postage stamp, and the 8th megastructure on Earth. If you like height, you can even walk underneath the bridge on its metal framework.
Have you seen it?
Keep looking up to your right to see the New River Gorge Bridge.
We're gonna go right under it.
Push it. Oh,
This is Jesus, dude.
oh.
Oh my goodness.
You got bad tops there. That's it. This, yeah.
Imagine the steel it took to build that. That's a lot of steel.
Looking down at the water level, you can see the old Fayette Station Bridge, which was built in 1889.
That's a little
It
bridge.
is now named the Tommy Hunsaker Bridge in honor of the nearby city of Fayetteville's police chief of 30 years. Early in Tunney's life, he was a boxer, having boxed in October.
Did you just hear what I was
You
talking
can
about?
choose to rest for half a day, a full day, or overnight. A bus takes you to a starting point. You get into the river, raft, swim, have a box lunch, and be bussed back to your vehicle. The upper New River is beginner friendly for ages 6 up. The lower New River for ages 9 plus. Last year, there were over 130,000 persons who paid to go whitewater rafting. Other outdoor activities could be kayaking, climbing, rappelling, mountain biking, paintball.
I can stitch too, I know, man.
Oh man.
Stop that not funny. I don't know, sis. What is it? Chicks.
Oh yeah, you got that. Wow.
Yeah. Listen to this one. Oh, I am going Jojo. Oh, Jojo.
Laid track through the rugged New River Gorge in 1873. At one time, between 400 and 500 people lived here. For streets and businesses, this is only the one thriving business area will be on your left. The buildings being constructed around the 1900s. The Southern Depot is on your right. Today, it's served as a large visitor center, and it's on the National Register of Historical Places. Thurman is on the whitewater rafting on the New River.
We have been seeing a lot of abandoned buildings and a lot of history once again. We've seen a quarry and an abandoned school that was on the left. Now we are going through the mountains even more, and eventually we're going to get to the more populated side where a lot of the history with women and men resided at.
To the U.S. Park. We have with us a stamp today. We would be happy to stamp your passport. So just look for the ladies in the green shirts, and we'll be happy to oblige.
Damn, why would I have my passport on me?
We're staying in the village.
See that current?
Yeah. Imagine jumping in there.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Exactly, West Virginia can be
50,000.
2019, the World Wow Scout Jamboree was held here.
Still the mountains.
Could you imagine living at the top of that mountain up there?
Nope.
Hell, beautiful from the top.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part. So we gotta deal with the animals. Not bad.
The takeaway too.
Walk brings visitors close to the falls that are 23 feet high and 1,500 feet wide. Bald eagles are known to nest in this area, so you may be lucky enough to see them today. Watch particularly for Brooks Island just past the falls. The nest is on the leading edge of the island. The birds are nesting now, so you may just see a little white head with the sun shining on it as she sits on her eggs in that nest.
Whoa. What was that?
Water. Look at that expansive gorge right there, though.
You already know I have to do my updates. I changed back into my other outfit from the other day. We got some stuff right here. We're about to be at our next station. This trip is definitely a 10 out of 10. It just that did it for me. I did not know about the sightseeing and the narration. That made me feel like I was a kid again. I'm not gonna lie. So this gets my first ever 10. 9.9. 9.9. We can't give it 10 too early. I haven't did that many trips yet. So we'll give it a 9 out of 10. This was great. This was definitely like one of my favorites, but the trip's nowhere close to over. I still got a few hours, so we'll see how the rest goes. But I'm gonna enjoy my little meal. We'll approach our next station, and I'll always keep updating. But this is great. Y'all should definitely do this. And there'll be a little intermission from here to the next. So if you're still watching, I'll have a little break for all y'all right here. So here you go.
I know where pigeons are.
And we receive a paper from the lady that was doing a talk. As we can see, there's a lot of things in here to look at about New River George. There is the maps and landmarks and the bridge that we were looking at earlier. This is a really nice flyer to keep for collectibles. And we get a brochure about more of the information of this trip. When we open it up, we see everything that we went past, including the bridge landmark.
Look, sandstone falls,
If you visit Overton, you may see lion statues that are sometimes decorated with a collar and a colorful ribbon leaf. Later, they bring a light which testimony from the guests up to the Lisbon River. We bring our guests to see the bridge for federal state protection. But you need to know that faces the Baltimore.
Direction should we look? We are now in White Sulphur Springs. This is a very nice station. It is currently like 60 degrees out right now. I am really enjoying this trip. This is our third break to get off the train and stretch your legs or whatever. I'm really enjoying this. We're gonna go look at our ALC that's leading our train today before we can't see it in the future. So. And now we have a look at our leading unit, ALC 42 366. ALC 42s are the replacement for P42s with 4,200 horsepower. They're normally on the long distance trains of the United States. That includes Zephyr, usually Silver Meteor, Floridian, even sometimes Northeast Regional out of Alexandria in Washington. And this is our White Sulphur Springs interior of the building on the station platform. This station used to hold Chesapeake and Ohio Railway back in 1931. Now they have renovated the building to be a Christmas theme, and it's a little shop. So if you wanted to buy something from here, you could go and purchase something. Unfortunately, I couldn't because I didn't know of this ahead of time. If I did, I would have definitely gotten something because this store is really beautiful. This is nice. Now we leave White Sulphur Springs onto our next stop, which is Clifton Forge, Virginia. This station will be another smoke stop, so we'll be allowed to get off the train and tour around. We have many more stops to go until we are at our stop, Alexandria. So, in the meantime, let's enjoy the view. Now we get off our train at our next stop, which is Clifton Forge, Virginia. In a second, you're about to see a CSX train go right past our train. After that, we'll tour the station. But this is a very, very spacious station. Really no platform. It's just a part of the parking lot. And now we see the CSX, don't know what number, passing our train to New York. Yeah, no, where I'm at, there's no diesel, so like seeing this is like cool as fuck. Clifton Forge train station, another train station that served the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway. This station opened up in 1857, and we have a small waiting room due to the fact that nobody really gets on the train out here, and the train is once every other 2 days, so not really too much of service coming out of this station, so they are not going to have that much passengers. But one look at our train and the station again, Clifton Forge, VA. This station was pretty nice, not as scenic though. And we will be making our way back onto the train since our conductors called us over. Maybe in the future, I'll get a viewliner seat, bed, whatever you want to call it. So let's make our way back onto the train and get to our next station, Staunton, VA.
We threw Grandpa chips and watermelons over the bridge. He goes, okay, kids. He goes, my teacher asked me what the capital of I'm saying, what's the capital of
And now we are off at Staunton, Virginia. This station was the most scenic in my opinion, besides White Sulphur Springs. This station has a lot to it, so let's get to it and show you everything that I see here. I also took an Instagram post here, so I'll show you the angles and stuff of this beautiful station. So again, this is the Staunton, VA train station. This train station has a lot of history. So, there was 2 previous stations before this station now. 2 of them were destroyed due to non-natural reasons. The first one was a Civil War, and the second one was a runaway train crashed into the station and destroyed it, and they rebuilt this last one in 1902. A lot of beautiful scenery of the city and the town. I love this station. Now we are on our way to our next station, Charlottesville, Virginia. Charlottesville is a very popular station. Now we are running on to other train lines, which serves the Cardinal, obviously, Northeast Regional, Crescent, and others.
But you will have a little bit of time, maybe 5 or 10 minutes to go train smoke at Charlottesville.
We are back with another trip update. This is insane. This is just crazy. We are getting off at many stations, being able to tour the towns. There's like a narrator. There's so much on here that like I never thought was gonna happen this trip. I have to get this attention. Everyone's happy, good experiences, getting pictures. We met another buff. It's crazy. Conductors are amazing. The engineer talked to me. Yeah, everything's going great. Like, this is so great if you love taking pictures and if you're a tourist. This is the train you take. It only runs 3 times a week. That's the one thing downside. This train only runs 3 times a week. So it only leaves Chicago on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Those are the only days it leaves Chicago. Then on the vice versa, same way back. It only leaves on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and on the way back it's opposite. So it only leaves Sundays, Wednesdays, Fridays. So it's cool. It is really nice. So much suggested to take this trip. We just left Staunton, most beautiful town I've ever seen. Next stop, Charlottesville. Keep updating you along the way. I have 4 hours left of this amazing trip. I had some food earlier, but the scenery is nice. The history is nice. Going through the Appalachian Mountains. It's just so much. I'm glad to be on this trip today. I get on 66 later back to New London. So we'll see, but I'm enjoying this trip so much. So I thank you all so much for watching. We're going to keep going with our trip.
Smokies. I'm guessing we're at Charleston.
No, not yet.
It's been a pleasure watching you make this. And knowing I was there, so if I ever see it, I know that whole trip, bro.
Yeah.
And then you gotta think I have another hour and a half drive with my stepmom after that.
Yeah.
Back home.
Mine is 10 minutes back home.
So
Is the train station here?
for now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna keep that. Yep. Just
Farmers? Those are potato farmers. Body. Not the motor.
how much is the body?
The body of the car is like $700. That was my layover in Chicago that I wasn't supposed to have.
How long was it?
Like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
What was it supposed to be?
Nothing. It's supposed to be 20 minutes. We went from being 2 hours late to like an hour and a half ahead of time.
Those long distance trains, that's what they're scheduled.
Just like that, we are in Charlottesville, Virginia. Fun fact about Charlottesville is the track that we are on is only used by the Cardinal service. All the other trains use another platform, which we will go to. And this is the interior to the Charlottesville train station. This one has a lot more waiting area since there is more than one Amtrak service that comes. This station is home to the Crescent, Northeast Regional, and Cardinal. Now we are going out to the platforms that are used for the Northeast Regional and Crescent trains. The Crescent might be a future trip,
over here, right?
possibly. We'll see in the future. But I will be getting on 66, which is going through
that platform over there. Charlottesville was opened up in 1885 and is now still serving trains to this day. You can see there is a lot of equipment on the other platform, but that won't make our train. So this is literally like this is the front of our station. Yeah. And another fact about this station, not really about the station, the University of Virginia is very, very close. So they use this station to travel to Northern Virginia or south towards Roanoke and other stops. The station also is the station that the person sitting next to me gets off at. If you see this video, bro, thank you so much for making this trip a blast. I first thought you were gonna be cool, but just like that, all alone. I am here for 3 more stops, then I get off. I'm getting off at Alexandria today. I'll be taking a train back to Washington when I need to, or I can take my train from Alexandria to Washington. So that's what I'm gonna probably do, because I don't feel like sitting in Washington for 4 hours. So that's probably gonna be the move tonight. This train ride is really relaxing. We are in Charlottesville currently. The station's pretty cool because it crosses past Northeast Regional, Crescent, and all that goes down the other tracks over there. So we're getting closer and closer to home. I still have 14 hours until I'm back in Connecticut, so. And no, I haven't asked the question in a little bit, so we'll start the questions back up one more time. The passenger car I'm in, the AF-2, when or will they ever be replaced? Let me know in the comments. There's really no right answer. It's an opinion-based question, so you answer however you want.
Chicago.
Here on out, we will not be having any more smoke breaks, no more stops. So this is just a straight trip through to Alexandria with a lot of stops during our trip. If you're a fan of the Northeast Corridor, every stop that we're going on now is going to be familiar if you go to a station with announcements like Manassas and Alexandria, all those stops. Which our next stop will be Culpeper. We go from Culpeper to Manassas and Manassas to Alexandria. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 The next station is Manassas. We were just stuck outside of Manassas right now because 171 got in our way, but the Heritage leaving. I'll probably miss a train I wanted to see, but it's alright.
trip's going good though.
Now we are departing Manassas. Manassas is a really nice station, as you can see. Our next stop is finally Alexandria. We will be going through Burke, but now we are on the VRE line, Virginia Railway Express. This will be my first time ever railfan Virginia Railway Express and south of Washington. I've been planning this trip for a while and got the opportunity to railfan south of Washington at Alexandria, so I'm doing it. The reason why I wanted to do this was to see Northeast Regionals with diesels on the front. Also, Alexandria is the best stop to catch all the trains out of Washington down south, because that's where they all go to, because some of them go down past Lorton, and then some of them, like my train, go west to Charlottesville and south. Usually the Silver Meteors, Floridians, a few Northeast Regionals, all go down south to Richmond and all those places. And then the Crescent, Cardinal, and some Northeast Regionals go west to Charlottesville and New Orleans. So I'm getting an opportunity to catch all of those in one station, plus Virginia Railway Express. The issue is, the time I got there, our train was about an hour late at this point. We got delayed by another Cardinal getting into Charlottesville. Then we also got delayed by 171, as I said earlier. So now our train's running approximately like an hour late. So I was planning to catch the Crescent 20, since we were racing that to Alexandria, and I ended up missing it because of how late we were. But it's okay. I was able to catch 3 Amtrak trains anyway. Train 85, 186, and Silver Meteor 97. So I'll upload that video eventually. But for now, enjoy the views as we get our way into Alexandria in a few minutes. This will be the end of our Cardinal trip, so I'll give you a little update while we are in Alexandria, waiting for 66. I also ended up missing a freight train, which I'll probably say later, which I was very mad about because I went there for the freight, since there's really no freight on where I live. But if you look down on the tracks, you'll see a trespasser. As you see it right there, there was a guy digging in his bag right outside of Alexandria. I don't know if the rules are as strict as the Northeast Corridor, but now we are getting off our train after a very long 16 hours. We are finally off in Alexandria to buff a little bit. So let's say farewell to our train. And we end up meeting Crescent Train 19. Train 19 is on its way to New Orleans, taking the route we just took reverse. going to Charlottesville and then south to New Orleans. That is the train that my boy is getting on that was sitting next to me the whole day to go back to Florida or Georgia, not Florida. A nice little thing about Alexandria is that they have metro rail service. This metro train serves most of this part of Virginia to Washington. I don't know too much about it, but I know it's basically the same thing as every other metro rail. Another trip update. Yes, I am in Alexandria. All the trains came. I did this horribly. I should have just toured DC. I am greatly sorry about not doing that. I thought sitting in DC for a few hours is going to be boring, but this is just horrible because now I'm in Alexandria with really nothing left. My train's 66, and that's the next train. It is currently 8 o'clock right now. 66 doesn't get here until 9:10, so I have to wait another hour and 10 minutes here. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we'll figure it out. But that trip from Chicago to here was pretty nice. I enjoyed that greatly. I will definitely be doing that again. Probably vice versa though, from here to Chicago or New York to Chicago. It was a really nice trip. The scenery, everything. The person I sat next to, he grew on me. Even though it was, but yeah, no. I'm very happy about that trip. That will be a 10. I will give that a 10. I don't think anything's gonna beat that. I enjoyed it too much. Everybody was talking to me. I felt like a celebrity. But soon we're gonna be getting on 66. I'm used to Northeast regionals, but this will be the longest I've taken a regional. I don't get into New London until 8 a.m. tomorrow. I've never been overnight on a Northeast regional before, so we stay the night in New York. We should get there around 1 in the morning, 1, 2 in the morning, and then I get to New London at 8:18. So I'll be doing a little bit of trip review on that, not too much. Everybody knows about Northeast regionals, but I'll do it for subs that aren't from the East area. So that's gonna be very nice to do. So I'm gonna start working on this video a little bit. I'm trying to stay out here and see if there's any freight coming because I don't have a scanner at the moment, so I don't know if there's anything for CSX within this hour and 10 minutes. There probably is, and I'm gonna probably go inside and miss it by accident. I'm planning to come down here with CTSL Royal fans soon, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, no, the station's actually pretty nice. I mess with it. The city's beautiful too. So I'm gonna head inside. I don't even think the station agents like me. They was already looking at me all funny, like I guess they don't see buffs like me around. So, oh, I hear horn. Okay, never mind. That's an airplane. So, yeah, I'll give you more updates later, and I'll see you later. Now, this is our train 66 to Boston, but we are getting off in New London. Train 66 is a 5-car consist with the cafe car and business class mixed into one. Basically the same consist as a Vermonter train. Our train today is led by P42 number 76. P4276 has a nice horn and is no different than any other P42. Yes, I manifested me missing a CSX train the exact way that I thought I was going to miss it. I went inside and I missed it. I heard the floor rumbling and boom, it went past. It was a good, decent amount of cars too. But now we are on train 66. As you can see, this is a Amfleet 1, so the Amfleet 1 layout is not the same as Amfleet 2. There's a lot more seats and a lot less legroom. I put my bag on top. Finally, for the first time in history, I am organized with my stuff. I go and sit in my seat. Ampleat 2 seats are way comfier than this. The Ampleat 1 seat has a little bit more toughness to it. We have our tray table. We look around, the light above, very bright. And our recline is way less than our Ampleat 2 seats. Man, do I miss the Ampleat 2? Yes, I do, because I don't feel like doing an overnight on an Ampleat 1. So now, we are leaving Alexandria on our way to Washington, D.C., where we will have a ACS put on the front, switched out for a diesel. Now, I am on 66. I'm on this train all the way to New London. About 8 hours away. Or not 8. 11 hours. I'll be at my final stop back home, because we stay overnight in New York. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get too much footage, but I had to switch seats to get my seat inclined, because I'm not going to sleep with a upright seat. So I'm gonna show some more stuff. Get off at Washington because it's a smoke break, so I'll do that. But update y'all there. As we did in our trip review with CTSL Royal Fan, this is an Ampleat 1 bathroom. Once again, as you've seen in the other video, Ampleat 1 bathrooms are pretty generic. Nice little button. This is actually the cleanest one I've been in, so I like it. Now, one of the last few questions on this trip. This one is going to be decently hard, so if you need to do your research, go on ahead. What trains run through Washington, D.C.? You can name every commuter rail, every freight, every Amtrak service. We'll name all of them in the comments. Good luck.
We arrived. Scheduled to depart at 10. Before 24 track. DC Union Station.
And now we are arriving into Washington, D.C. on the lower platforms. These platforms are meant for trains south of Washington. As we look in front of us, there is a weird-looking test train with a Phase 3 Ampleat, the ACS, and a Metro liner. This is a test train. I'm assuming that's running overnight. It ends up departing. I didn't get it on video. So, this is Washington, D.C. That upper level up there is where the Acellas and everything else run to Boston. Now we are walking around. I ended up not going inside the station due to the fact that I was scared that I was going to miss my train, and I also wanted to keep my window seat. The conductor warned us that there was going to be a lot of people getting on, so the conductor was right. My car went from at least 1 to 2 people to maxed out people begging to sit next to people. So now we are on our way to our next stop, BWI Airport.
Those two got nothing to do
Thank you, choosing Amtrak. As your mode of transportation, have a safe and pleasant weekend. This is
So basically, we are in Philly with no power for no reason. But I was trying to tell y'all I am tired and I'm going to sleep. It is currently 12 something in the morning, so I'm not trying to wake anybody up. So I'm going to talk to you guys when the sun comes up. So I'm going to have a good sleep. See you in the morning. It is now morning. We are outside of New York. I just woke up. It is currently at 5:50 in the morning. I get a breakfast. And next thing you know, it felt like a blink of an eye. We're in Stamford, Connecticut. Stamford is one of the busiest stations in Connecticut. Also, a terminating point for the new Shoreline East service that goes express to Stamford. Stamford also has a lot of Metro North connections. From local to express, there's New Cannon Branch, and more. We leave Stamford, and now we are on our way to Bridgeport. Bridgeport is not a good area and not a safe area, so I do not suggest to buff there. After Bridgeport, we go to New Haven, then Old Saybrook, then New London. Right now, it is currently around 6 something, so we have about 2 more hours of our trip. We will give a little bit of a information update when we are outside of New London. But now we are in Bridgeport. Bridgeport, Connecticut, as I said, is one of the more dangerous towns, which is basically kind of why the station is lifted up off the ground to avoid all the conflict that happens in the city. But I don't want to talk down on Bridgeport too much. There's some things to do out there, but not really too safe, as Bridgeport is almost ranked with Chicago in danger. as I let y'all enjoy more ASMR of this train, we are now going to be in New Haven pretty soon. We are now going over a bridge that just recently an Acela got stuck on. From that bridge, they had to transfer passengers from the Acela to the Northeast Regional. It was a very crazy situation because it was very dark out when this happened. They're going to be renovating a lot of the bridges on the corridor, as Con is going to be one of the bridges they update, and the South Milwaukee Bridge. Also, south of New York, they are updating the bridge outside of Secaucus. But now we arrive into New Haven, where a lot of people are getting on. New Haven's a very familiar station to me. New Haven's a pretty nice station, as you get to railfan Hartford Line trains. Metro North is on that side over there, and Amtrak's over here. Hartford Line trains usually connect with Amtrak trains. So, for example, there's train 88 and 488. Train 88 will get into New Haven and depart to Boston, and 488 will come out the yard and pick up trains from 88 to go to Springfield. There also is a few Northeast Regionals that go to Springfield itself. But now we are in Old Saybrook. Old Saybrook has a really good pizza place and a very fun spot to buff. But now we are in Nan, aka Niantic. Niantic's a very beautiful boardwalk. A nice place to buff too, where everybody loves the trains that go through there. That means we'll be in New London in less than 5 minutes. Just like that. New London is a historic station used for Amtrak and Shoreline East. Shoreline East has a plan to extend to Westerly and Norwich and build a Grand station. But now, our train 66 leaving to Boston. Just like that, I am back. After a whole week of being gone and doing train travel, I am finally back home in New London, Connecticut. I was in my college when I left. Now I'm actually back home to see my mom and my family once again. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I really enjoyed this trip. Staying 2 nights on a train, that is an experience that I never thought I'd do. Railfanning Metro for the first time, going to Alexandria, seeing Virginia Railway Express, going on to them stations and all that. I'm stuttering and all that too, but I am very glad I was able to experience all this. Now we are back in the Northeast Corridor. I'm good. Yes, I'm using a track picture of me to talk. I got interrupted by a station agent that watched me grow up since I was 2 years old at that train station. But, as I was saying, I really enjoyed the trip so much, I would suggest to do it again. And till the next time, thank you for watching, and I really hope y'all have a good day.